Man Lewis, your godfather. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Another Hollywood podcast. This time we're going to talk about one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm talking Grand Theft Auto 3. We're also going to be talking for a brief moment about the game that was its prequel, Liberty City Stories. So Grand Theft Auto 3 starts off, you're robbing a bank. The main character, we don't know his name throughout the entire game. We don't know that much about him, other than he's a bank robber. He's got mixed up with the wrong people, which is Catalina and Miguel from the Colombian cartel. Basically left for dead by those two. Winds up in jail and meets 8 Ball. 8 Ball has no hands. His hands got burned or something or another. I forget exactly how that actually happened, but 8 Ball has no hands. But 8 Ball and the main character, which later on in this Grand Theft Auto series, when it comes to San Andreas, we found out that his name was Claude. But throughout, like I said, throughout the entire Grand Theft Auto 3, he doesn't speak, doesn't utter much words, does do some finger gestures, if you will, flipping people the bird and stuff like that. But he just shakes his head up and down or kind of does movements and stuff like that. He doesn't really speak. But Grand Theft Auto 3, to me, is amazing because it deals with the mafia. And I don't know about y'all, I'm a big fan of the Godfather movies. I love the Godfather movies. It's one of my all-time favorite trilogies of all time. Love the Godfathers. So I kind of related to the whole concept that Grand Theft Auto 3 was all about, the whole mafia thing, if you will. Because when you start off, like I said, you got you meet 8 Ball, who introduces you to Luigi, who has a strip club or whatnot, and you got to do a few missions for Luigi. And Luigi introduces you to Joey Leone. And then Joey Leone, who is the son of Salvatore Leone, which is the Godfather, if you will, or the head of the Leone Mafia. Joey introduces you to Tony Cipriani, which is Salvatore's capo. And then Tony introduces you to Salvatore. That's how the game actually concepts on Liberty Island. There's 4 places you can visit. There's 3 places you can visit. There's Liberty Island, there's Staten Island, and then there's Shoreside Vale. When you go throughout the game itself, you're working for everybody. Doing missions, getting money, gaining a reputation. You find these side missions from over there in Liberty Island. You find your a mission from El Bordo of the Diablos, which is racing, taking care of a couple things. And for him, King Courtney is who you meet these guys buy a phone, of course. You pick up the phone and it comes off on your pager. El Bordo of the Diablo, where I can speak to you and blah, blah, blah. The phone in Hepburn Heights. And then King Courtney, I think, is his actual phone is somewhere on the other side of the park, I believe it is, or maybe it's not the park. Well, anyway, it's over there in Staten Island. But these are side missions you can pick up. When you go over to Staten Island, you meet several people over there. Ixuka, you meet her brother Kenji, Donald Love, Ray. You also meet a few other little side characters that you get involved with throughout the missions of these people, of these guys. So the only problem I had with this game in Grand Theft Auto 3 was I did not want to kill Salvatore Leone. There's a part in the mission where Maria, which is one of Salvatore's girls, wants out of the whole thing. She wants out of the blood and the mafia thing. She wants out of the scene. So she tells Salvatore that y'all are dating, y'all are an item, and he hires 8 Ball to rig the car, tells you to take it to the crusher, and you get into it and you blow up. And yeah, so Maria tells you to take away, and then when you get over to Staten Island to um, Asuka's place, Asuka tells you to kill Salvatore Leone before she can work any further with you, so that she knows that your ties with the mafia are forever done. I didn't want to do that. Really didn't want to do that because I love Salvatore Leone. Like I said at the beginning, I love the whole mafia feel. I love The Godfather. I love the whole mafia feel. What they were trying to do with the actual Grand Theft Auto 3, and that's one of my all-time favorite Grand Theft Auto games. If I ever get asked, hey, Wolfman, what is your favorite Grand Theft Auto game of all time? It's going to be Grand Theft Auto 3 because of that. I can even quote some of the actual missions word for word on how they go. And it's something that stuck with me. I've beaten the game a couple of times now. I've got it on PS2. Well, I think it was on Xbox as well. It's on PS2. That's where it originated, on the PS2. Then moved to the Xbox. It's on it's on PC too. Maybe it was on PC before it was on P. But anyway, it's on PS2, PC, Xbox, and of course they remastered it for the PS4. I have that. I have all three versions: the PC version, the version for the PS2, and the version for the PS4. I don't have it for Xbox. I'm not an Xbox gamer. Never have been. Never will be. I'm a Sony main. Always will be. And a Nintendo main, which they didn't have. The games they had for the Grand Theft Auto games they had, I think was it PS1, I think. Those games were awful. But the whole concept of what they were trying to do with Grand Theft Auto 3 was amazing. And then you go to the prequel of Grand Theft Auto, which came out on the PSP, the Sony handheld, and then they ported it to the PS2. And that is Liberty City Stories, which talks about Tony Cipriani making waves and not only trying to win back the trust and the graces of his mother, but also work his way up into the ranks of the mafia to become the capo of Tony Cipriani, of Salvatore Leone, to gain Salvatore's trust and whatnot, to become the capo that he is in Grand Theft Auto 3. Some of the characters are not relatable in Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories to me. I mean, they're okay, but they're just, other than Salvatore, and there's a few others in there that are kind of in Grand Theft Auto 3, but they're not really, relatable as much as the story and the characters in Grand Theft Auto 3 is. Another side note, one side missions that cracked me up is the one next to Joey Leone's garage over there in Trenton, and that is Marty Chonks from the Bitch and Dog Food Company. He's got problems with his wife, got problems with his lawyers and stuff like that. I want you to go get him and bring him over, and then he whacks him and beats him with the bat and stuff like that. It's funny. But when you go to Staten Island, like I said, and you get involved in all this, and you finally find out that, you finally have the opportunity to take down Catalina, and you finally feel, like the game is finished. And it's a letdown because, I wanted that game to go on forever and ever. It's just an amazing game. I love Grand Theft Auto 3. It's absolutely one of my favorites, as I said. I cannot go on and tell you any more about, about how much I love the game, because if I do, we'll be here for quite a long time. But it's an amazing game. I love Grand Theft Auto 3. What is your favorite Grand Theft Auto game? Tell me in the comments section below. Thank you for watching for the Howling Mood Podcast. This has been the Wolfman Lewis, your Godfather Wolf. Ow!